If you clicked on this video and decided to only look at the thumbnail and thought that this video was going to be focused on Senjougahara and her love for Araragi, I would like you to know that you have been duped. You have been a victim of misinformation presented by me. I have done a clever ruse to parody the beginning of the light novel Koi Monogatari, and people who are aware of this, hopefully, are having a hearty laugh at your expense. Don't complain in the comments, please. I don't care. The phrase "don't judge a book by its cover" has nothing to do with giving a book a chance, and all to do with doubt. Never trust a cover. Never trust something by what they show you. What they show you is the best part of themselves. Judge them. Judge them by what they don't show you. Everyone is hiding. Find out what is hidden, and doubt that too. Only once you do that will you get the truth. Or at least, a truth. When engaging in deception, I can try and think about your feelings. Make sure that you aren't hurt by the myriad of lies that spew out of my mouth. Everyone lies, whether it be white or as black as can be. We all lie. But a lie will force us to lose focus. Lose focus on someone's true feelings. Kaiki Deishuu is a seasoned veteran of lies and deception, although that could also be part of his fabrication. He is the self-proclaimed best con artist in the world, and he is going to be our focus for today's video. We are going to be talking about lies, deception, and most of all, dreams. Or is that a lie too? You did all that build-up and we're not going to have like a fancy intro? Okay. We first meet Kaiki.
I see you running from the truth you hold. Gotta keep your eye out, hold on to that doubt. You've been hiding, using a pot of gold. Rotting like a dead tree, your life isn't free.
So what I was going to say, before I was rudely interrupted, was that Kaiki appears in front of Araragi outside Kanbaru's house. I've got to tell you, but if you haven't watched both Nisei Monogatari, the last 6 episodes of Monogatari second season, and the first episode of Hana Monogatari, this video is going to be a collection of names and events that'll make your head spin. Go away and watch all of the Monogatari series and come back. You're back? Confused? Good. At the start of Nisei Monogatari, Araragi is being kidnapped by his girlfriend, Senjougahara, and is now having to lick water off her finger just to survive. Wait, what? Okay, one sec, back up a bit. Araragi has just woken up and had multiple interactions with his weird harem fantasy that he calls life. He has gone to support a depressed Kanbaru after his grandma saw her naked. If you skimped out on watching the Monogatari earlier, I hope you understand the mistake that you made. After Araragi finally realizes that sexual harassment might be wrong, he leaves Kanbaru's home and we meet him. Kaiki is evil. This isn't up for a debate. Kaiki is shown to be devious, intimidating, and ominous. He is bathed in a world of red and imposed over top dead trees and a murder of crows. The music is devilishly chilling with harsh and dark strings. Him and Araragi are on completely different sides. And that isn't even an interpretation. He's literally separated by a river of blood. This will be more important later, but do you notice how he looks like a vampire? Interesting. Araragi decides to ride his bike in the opposite direction to Kaiki. While he's riding, he meets the 6th woman in his entourage of female friends. This is Senjougahara, Araragi's future kidnapper. They have a nice conversation about how if Araragi were to cheat on her, he would die. But this lovely chat is stopped when Araragi mentions Kaiki, and finally we understand why Araragi was kidnapped by his girlfriend and forced to drink water from her fingertips. Wait, no, sorry, I said that wrong. I meant, what's going on? Senjougahara calmly explains that Kaiki was the first person she came to for help with her crabs. I think that's something different. And he went and took all of her money and destroyed her family. But after Araragi gets a message that his sister is in danger, he breaks out and goes home. It turns out that the Fire Sisters have been hunting down Kaiki because he's been conning middle schoolers with charms. Araragi's older sister, Karen, confronted Kaiki. Remember when I said that Kaiki looks like a vampire? Well, this is important now. Vampires are often used as an analogy for capitalism. Not always, and it wasn't what vampires were originally used for, but in this case, I think it fits. Kaiki talks about his love for money. Money is powerful, almost as powerful as being right. Anything can be solved with money. This is why Kaiki has no remorse for his actions. They're the ones that knew the value of the money that they gave away, and the way they used the charms is up to them. Why would he feel guilty about what he would consider normal? The world revolves around money, and clearly those middle schoolers put value into Kaiki's con. Kaiki is evil. He isn't right. But he's doing the same thing. He's contributing to the world as much as someone doing a slew of good deeds. He is the epitome of evil. Araragi and Senjougahara have now planned to confront Kaiki and force him to leave town. In doing so, we seem to get the impression that Kaiki was Senjougahara's first crush. Kaiki accepts this and leaves the town forever, never to come back. the epitome of evil. The embodiment of lies and deception is eating donuts? The same music plays that we heard the first time we meet him, but this time it contrasts the bright and vibrant donut shop. If you were a music person, you might call it a leitmotif. No, I'm a music person. We don't spell things correctly. Better. This entire scene takes our impression of Kaiki from the most evil person in the world to a guy who eats donuts. Now to note, he still helped to swindle Araragi, but it isn't like he knew Araragi was going to be there. After this scene, the show becomes immensely less black and white. As much as you can still hate Kaiki, the scene forces you to realise that Kaiki isn't just absolutely evil, but just a guy who cons people for money. The next time we meet Kaiki, he's our narrator, so look at what I say closely, because it's probably all a lie. Sorry. Also, just as an aside, there seems to be a bunch of people calling Kaiki best girl, which I just think is weird because I thought we all understood that the waitress who gave Senjougahara 3 cups of orange juice, 3 is best girl. We start Koi Monogatari at a shrine in Kyoto. Probably. All we really know is that he's not in the town he was banned from. There are people throwing money away as if it's completely meaningless. As if the money they have has no value. It's a strange behaviour that Kaiki is observing so that he can understand it, but before he can get any insights, he gets a call. It's from a girl called Senjougahara. Senjougahara? That sounds familiar. Anyway, Kaiki does a small lie and says that his name is Suzuki and that he is in Okinawa. I realise he is also probably not in Okinawa, otherwise that lie would have been very strange. So I'm confident that he's also not in Okinawa. Kaiki flies to Okinawa and meets Senjougahara at the coffee shop. Sorry. It turns out that Senjougahara was Senjougahara all along, and she wants Kaiki to deceive Sengoku. This is because Sengoku is going to kill Senjougahara at graduation day because of her love for Araragi. You know, your classic love triangle. So she needs Kaiki to stop Sengoku. Kaiki obviously has no reason to accept this offer. He goes through all of the options and can't think of any reason to accept. Money maybe, but just to do it for someone? I don't think so. Except, wait, why is he thinking of reasons to accept? There really is no reason to do that, especially if there's barely any money involved. So why is he trying his hardest to accept? It's probably not important. Kaiki goes and meets with Sengoku. She's absurdly happy. She's absurdly jolly. Her demeanour betrays her words. She speaks with an immense smile on her face, saying stuff like, and she is shocked to see Kaiki at her shrine for worship. She is ecstatic. Kaiki also meets her family. Using a slew of lies, he's able to infiltrate their home and look into a closet that Sengoku wouldn't allow anyone to open. We're not told what's in it, but we're told it's wholly unremarkable. Kaiki is offered a lot of money by a girl called Gain to abandon the job. He accepts, but continues to do the job anyway. We were soon told about Kaiki's relationship with Senjougahara, and somehow he thought that he was helping her, but was unable to consider her feelings. Suki thinks that this will be no different. Kaiki fails to deceive Sengoku. He doesn't make a mistake, he had done everything correctly, but Sengoku saw through him. She saw through him from the very beginning. He misunderstood her feelings, and he was going to be punished for it, unless he found the value in that wholly unremarkable thing in the closet. In the end, Kaiki is able to keep Sengoku at bay by telling the truth. The obvious truth. He tells her to things that adults say to children. Obvious things, because they are the truth. Sengoku wants to be a manga artist. She found it embarrassing, but honestly all dreams are embarrassing. Especially in the arts, you start out making the worst stuff ever seen. Making art is tiresome, difficult and hard, and Kaiki understands that. He already understood it, but he was too caught up in his own lies. He lost focus on Sengoku's feelings, and that's why he was caught. He needed to focus on her feelings. Kaiki gives Sengoku a slug and leaves town, and is never seen again. Until Kambaru decides to leave town and is found by Kaiki. She rightfully tries to run away, but her running ability pales in comparison to Kaiki's. They go and eat meat while they talk about Kaiki's relationship with Kambaru. Kaiki was close to Kambaru's mother and used to be in love with her, which is why he rejects the name Kambaru. While they are talking, Kambaru is trying his hardest to hate Kaiki. He's evil. He's an evil man that apparently wants to eat tons of meat and stay healthy. Kaiki cares for Kambaru. Not because it'll benefit him, but because he made a promise. I think this scene really shows that the world isn't so black and white. You can't just have someone be the embodiment of malice. Life isn't like a comic book. Kaiki isn't just a bad person. He isn't just evil. And if you don't believe me, then let me tell you this. He pays for the food. By the way, if you didn't watch Monogatari when I told you to, I just want to say that everything I said was a lie and you just wasted all of your time watching this. Subscribe!